Back, episode 2. We've got Port Glasgow boxer Grant Quigley. How are we, Grant?
Aye, good mate, good, all good. Wee bit nervous.
Don't worry about it, man. We all get nervous when we come to sickness.
Struggling to speak because you're kind of short of breath. Like, in case you say something absolutely stupid, make you feel yourself. Know what I mean?
Does that every time he comes here, man? It's all right.
Don't make me laugh at what I say, mate.
So. We're absolutely buzzing to have you on. As I said, you've had a career that, especially like myself and a lot of boys I know, we've kind of followed your career when you were boxing and stuff like that, and we're just looking forward to getting into a wee bit to see what's happening with you.
Aye, good. Aye, I'm looking forward to it myself. Just having a good sort of open chat. Nice easy going chat. Hopefully the nerves start to go away. Let's have been speaking of it.
How's mental health for you? Are you in a good place and stuff like that?
Aye, just now I'm in a really good place. Feeling quite positive. Things are good on the job front. Family life's great. Just recently became a dad.
Congratulations.
Thanks. My son was born 6 months ago, 7th of August. Might be slightly more than 6 months now. Andrew Quigley. And it's been a total change of life, but it's been.
Aye, but buzzing with that bar. Is that your first?
First. But no, it's family life's great. That's what I'm all about. Is I love spending time with my wife and my son.
Brilliant. So before you got to here, obviously you had quite a decent career as a young boxer. Was boxing always your path? Was that always where you were going to go? Kind of leaving school? Was it?
Aye, it was something I got into when I was quite young. I think it was 8 or 9. My older brother James, he was going to join the Marines. And when he went to the Marines office, they say the best thing you can do to get fit for the test is go to boxing, do a boxing training. That'll get you in kind of best shape for going to the Marines. So he obviously went to Port Glasgow, Victoria. He was going for a few months. Thought it would take me and my other brother Greg along, and it just kind of went for there.
So was that your motivation for going into boxing? There wasn't any before it, like
no,
the family or dad, anything like that?
No, there wasn't. No, my dad had never boxed. Not in the ring anyway. But no, none of us were boxers. It was just James going to keep fit that got me in. And I was always like, I loved like fighting when I was younger, like fighting cartoons or action films, and I never had any sort of aspirations to be a boxer.
Same.
Just went and that kind of.
My brothers, we'd watch Rocky, and the two of us would just end up boxing, fuck each other. We just knock fucking 7 shades of shit at each other, man. Brilliant. I think it was Rocky, but I get it.
It is. Rocky's one of the films when you're young. It's can leave a sort of big impression on you.
Everybody wants to put the gloves on.
And
then they get scudded in the face, and you're like, oh, easy.
It's not as glamorous as it looks in Rocky. But no, actually, my nephew James, my oldest brother's son James Quigley, he recently watched Rocky, and he's that way. He's obsessed. He's been. My brother sent me videos. Opening his room door and he's doing the sit-ups and all that, punching the bag and that. So he's kind of obsessed with that. And that's just for watching Rocky. He's obsessed with it.
I think that started a whole generation of boxers, didn't it? Rocky films, man.
Aye, brilliant.
I think it's good that you followed your big brother into it as well, because like to me, I come from a boxing family with Natalie, Dawn and Sean as well, but
what happened to you?
I fell far from it. I always remember being in primary school.
He was a punch bag.
I always remember being in primary school when my gran would open the paper and there'd be Natalie Mackay, gold medal, judo, gold medal, whatever. And I'd try and compete with that, and all I could bring home was like a paper plate with macaroni stuck on it to make a face. My gran had the kid on, she was proud of me, man. It was fucking dreadful.
Everybody knew yourself as a boxer. Even like, growing up in the Port, it's a community, do you know what I mean? So everybody kind of knew yourself and your brother through the boxing thing, and it was always easy to follow you because obviously you get telly and stuff like that, kind of commenting on it. Do you think your early teens flew in because you were? Because I feel as if we were talking about this here. I feel as if you were in the limelight all the time as a young boxer.
Aye.
The same with like your cousin Don as well, because Don was a brilliant boxer as well. And do you think that just flew in like, for you all of a sudden?
It did. Aye, and it did fly in. They were kind of, when you look back, it was they were really kind of like a great time in my life. And it was a good feeling, as you said, being in the limelight, like even it was only just the local telly, but it was still a good feeling when you're in that and other bits and bobs and the articles about you and that, and you read that and you think, oh, you know, I think you'd feel quite like the man, you know what I mean? Because I think I was the first person to win the British title at amateurs out of Portvic. I'm sure I was anyway.
Something to keep your head up.
That was a massive achievement. You know, when I first started boxing, I used to be out running. I would say to myself, like Grant Quigley, my weight was, I think it was like 63 kilo, British champion, like, and just kind of visualise it and believed it was going to happen. And
I've actually seen a video of that. Was that when you were 16?
And that was a wee clip on STV. They made me say that.
But what was it? Mullet there with the end thing? Then, was it?
You know, that video, he's my red face. I watch it.
STV, playing 10 years as well.
I've got the mullet and the black vest on, I know. I think there's a bit in it too. I actually get slated. Obviously, getting a bit of baller when I was a bit older, about 17. And I think it was STV or something like that, put an article about that happening. And they used that video on STV as like a reference, saying, because at the end of the video I said, I like boxing, it's good, it keeps me off the streets, it keeps me out of trouble. And then I was getting done with that, and it was a bit of like, look at you, a clown saying that, you know what I mean? Didn't really work out that way. But it did keep me out of a lot of trouble, but also
you can't help
it. Can't avoid it. You can't avoid everything.
I thought it was good to see obviously for a young age, and that's as if you're kind of manifesting it. Like going to be, obviously that was you were already British champion, and you were saying you had to go and obviously pro fight and end up being world champion as well. So I thought it was good.
Well, that's what it's all about. When you in boxing, you build momentum and confidence because you don't really know what you're capable of until you actually do it, and then it's like you maybe do well in sparring and you get a fight, you win a fight, you get a better opposition, better opponent, you beat him. You start going, no, actually, I'm quite capable of doing this. I'm good at this, and you get that's when the belief comes. You know, I can really, I can do this, and it's vital if you want to be get anywhere in boxing that you believe in yourself.
You need to believe in yourself. You need to have that self-confidence.
You need
can
that
get
confidence that you
beat anybody in front of you.
Aye, that's it.
So do you think you could have all the skills, but if you didn't have belief, it wouldn't matter?
No. That's the most fundamental things is that you really believe in yourself that you can do it. I'm not saying that means you don't have doubt or anything like that, or it's all part of it, but you've still got to have that belief in yourself. You know, it's belief that you're good enough to be in there. That doesn't mean you need to believe that you're going to be a world beater or world champion or whatever it is, or British champion. It's just that you believe that you're good enough to be in there.
Aye, definitely.
Do you think as a young boy chasing that dream, it gave you the discipline and the right mentality to? I know obviously you said you get back charged and you said the boxing kept you at it, but do you think it kind of made you the person you're now? So like you're holding doing a good steady job, you've got a family, you've got a mortgage and that to pay. Do you think that helped you get where you were? Just the boxing, the whole driving, the mentality, the discipline.
Aye, a wee bit aye, because it's sort of a young age. You know, there's nights you want to go to the gym, but you still go. And that's where the discipline part comes in. There's a lot of things in life you don't want to do, but you know, if you do, it's going to be for the greater good. It's better for the the big picture. So boxing's always been good for that. That you know, that you've got to work hard to get things that you want in life. And I think nothing good ever comes really easy. But no, it's totally been a big thing in shaping me, and it's who I am. It's had its sort of positives, and it's probably had its negatives as well. Just, you know, it's the other aspect of it's like sometimes like things that should make you happy don't make you happy because you're used to such intensity of boxing. Just obviously like fighting in front of loads of people, but I mean event and winning or knocking somebody out and being like, in fact, if everybody's watching you, and it's what a buzz as well. Just it's a great buzz as well. Like just walking out to the ring, that's like probably the best buzz I've ever had.
See when you were younger and you were like British champ and you were going out, was there any times like in the streets or you'll go to like, the dance and that, and people go, "There's Grant Quigley, I want to battle him."
I think so. There definitely was. It wasn't never put to me like that. Like, I didn't know anybody says that, obviously. Like, but that definitely was the case. I think.
How did you deal with that?
Probably an element of jealousy as well. I think. It happened mostly in kind of school. Just people would kind of get malicious kind of. I mean, it was. I kind of groups of them as well. just, I don't know if I put it on, because I never said anything to them or
I've always
anything to annoy them, but I just felt maybe just because I was popular in the boxing, I attracted that to me.
Just put a big target on your back.
In a way.
Aye.
And I was a bit cocky and, like, I feel myself at that age. I definitely was. And obviously people don't like that as well.
With a mullet. Anybody that has that mullet's got to be fully man.
No, but it did. And well, there was times where I did get attacked, get jumped off them, and I never really fought back at the time because I was just sort of too scared because they were older than us. There was more in than me, and it kind of pals that I had in school were only pals that would back you up. So every battle was my own battle, kind of thing. And it was at times it was hard, you know what I mean? Because you were scared. I came from a good family, and I wasn't, didn't really see it. The kind of, when I grew up, I didn't have a sort of rough upbringing or anything like that. And when up to high school, you seen people who did and who were rough and like carried knives and all stuff like that. So it kind of took me by surprise, like the things they would say to you and how malicious it was, like attacking you. And
from what I remember, it was always when you were in the gym, you were always told if anybody wants to fight you outside, don't do it. Do all your fighting in here.
Aye, that's a good message to put. Unless it's coming at you, and it's like
if it's inevitable,
you'd say to yourself, well, I'm not going to react or respond or fight back because I don't want this to happen, but it's already happening.
Aye.
So I think, for me, there was times where I never fought back. Over time that ate away at me. So I sort of built up rage inside. And it was, I got to a stage where I was old and it happened again. I did fight back, and I jumped off 5 of them, going up a stairwell in the school. So one of them kind of ran up by the stairs by me, just if I was running by, and there was 4 of them behind him. Just to see he got a couple of steps above me in the stairwell, he spun around and kicked us right in the face.
Aye.
So I've just sort of head back and put my hands up instantly in the boxing stance, made it up the last couple of stairs and got my back against the wall, and they're all hitting into us. And I remember just at a moment, during that, I says, I'm going to fucking kill every one of these. And I did, I just bumped, he went down, next one down, I glared them, and the last one ran away, and I chased them. It's a case of
poking the bear and then
that's it,
when they get bit.
That's it, I battered the 5 of them, and ever since that day, it was like, nah, never again.
But then it's always like you get made out to be the bad guy because you're, like they're saying, a trained fighter.
Yeah, you're a combat athlete, so you're
the bad guy, you know what I mean? But they don't see the you've been getting it big time, you know what I mean?
Did you not feel any satisfaction if you're saying that they've been having a go for a while?
Oh, it was brilliant. I would be lying if I've made it out that it felt absolutely amazing. I loved it. It's a great. There's such intense pleasure in same with boxing, dominating somebody. It might sound a bit.
Well, I know.
That point's not a good box to do, isn't it?
Oh, mate. No, I'm a sub anyway.
No, there is, but it's there was especially because of the background story too and stuff like that. And then it was it felt like some sort of justice or whatever you want to call it. But it did feel good doing that.
See, for then onwards, did you get any other hassle? Because if I seen that in the school, I'm like.
Not really, to be honest. No, not really.
Just pin your flag to the mast, innit? Go, boys, this is what happens.
After that, I never really. I was still in fights, not after it, but never really seen whether I was attacked or jumped or anything like that.
See, it's not fair because you're going to boxing. It's everybody knew the Vic in the port was a reputable gym. You're being trained in discipline, how to handle yourself, and you're expected to control that all the times. And yet you've got somebody who hangs about with their pals who wouldn't even think twice about going to a session in a boxing gym, not even for 2 minutes, and yet they think it's cool to go and start throwing people about, and then as soon as you start bouncing back, you're an animal. You're classed as an animal.
Yeah, you definitely are. And it is because in the reality of it is they've got no chance. That is the reality of it. It really is, and part of that used to annoy me as well. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I used to think who these people think they are. They're not going to last 2 seconds with me, but they'll be posting stuff on Facebook about you and saying they're going to do this and do that to you, and you're like,
does that affect you mentally, or does that? Obviously, everybody can read and see with Facebook. The Facebook generation is the worst for bullying and all that. But see, you know in your own capabilities how good you are at boxing. Does that stuff affect you mentally when these people are having a go at you?
Aye, it does. It definitely did. That used to annoy me.
Did that affect your confidence as a boxer?
No, not at all. To be honest, no. But it did annoy me, and it's. I probably wish I could say that it never annoyed me. But it did. It used to annoy me. Aye, it did. I would be lying if I said it didn't annoy me.
See,
It used to annoy me.
if you get in school and all that kind of stuff, and especially like kind of Port Glasgow's all it's kind of ego driven in it. And obviously when you're going through school and stuff, like you'd be reading that on Facebook and you'd be thinking to yourself, I can't let them get away with that, or else your name's going to be mud. So
that's true. Aye,
So-
there was
What year did you leave school? Can you remember?
fourth year.
So would that have been 2000 and...
2010, I think it was.
So you boxed amateur to 2015?
2015, aye. I turned pro around about then. In fact, I turned pro in 2015. And I had 3 fights in 2015, and I think I had 3 in 2016.
When you turned pro as a young boy, you're still young at this point, you know what I mean? It's still quite a young age to be... It's a lot of responsibility, full-time job as a boxer. Is it something I've always wanted to know with combat athletes is how do you manage a social life, a mental life, and try to be this good at your sport? Do you need to put things to the side? Do you need to prioritise maybe? Do you need to prioritise say training before mental health, or does mental health kind of tie in with your training?
Ties in with it, definitely ties in with it. And as they say is a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, I believe. It's like boxing, because it's so all consuming.
Yeah.
That you need to be in a good place mentally and physically as well. But the thing with boxing as well is it can't. You were speaking about your separate life outside it as well, but for me, boxing would take over my life in the sense where it would take up all my headspace. Like even when you weren't in the gym, you'd be thinking about it all the time and stuff like that.
Would you not get to a point in between fights that you would just get so far and your mental health would take a dip, like a lull? How would you get out of that?
I was, when I first was kind of like, during my amateur career and then my first 6 pro fights, I never really sort of had any trouble with mental health. I was always kind of alright. I think I was just that too, just young and daft. You don't you've not got that awareness. You don't think much about stuff like that. So I didn't really have that. And between fights, I would just not train, and I would go out and do, fun with my mates, parties, all the rest of it, just drinking. And then when it was time for a fight, but right, knuckle down again and off, no drinking, all the rest of it. Dedicated. I'm sure it'd usually about 6 weeks. Then pro, I try and do it a bit longer. Go for about like 9 or 8 weeks. Obviously, no drinking or and eating kind of better, and making sure you're training enough, all that stuff.
Was that not about the age? Obviously, you're turning pro. Is that about the age where all the rest of your pals are starting to go out more and kind of experiment with things? And did you kind of feel you're missing out on that a wee bit?
I did. I felt like even when I was amateur as well, when I was in remember that time, like all my mates were going out to, like, it was kind of like house parties at the time, and they'd be going to them every weekend, and I'd be training or going to Scotland training on the Sunday, or doing something, or I was drinking, so I just wouldn't go. And you did feel that you were missing out a lot, and that's how I think, like, when I had a fight and I knew I wasn't fighting for a while, I'd go right, I'd go mental.
Blow it.
If I blow it for a couple of weekends, then back to the drawing board and screwing it again.
It must have been hard hearing everybody saying, I done this at the weekend, I done that, or you missed out, we done this.
Aye, it was.
And you're saying, I punched the bag for a couple of years, and
I
was on the speed bar and I done this, and that'd have been hard.
It was hard, and there was times where I chose that life over boxing as well. There was, and I was meant to go to Portugal for 2 weeks with the Scotland team, then go to Australia. I think it was for like 2 or 3 weeks. And the run up to Glasgow Commonwealth Games. I was to go out and like, train in the spa room and stuff like that. I was like second seed. And I never went because me and my mates were talking about going to Ibiza in the summer, and I just chose Ibiza over that.
Ibiza was the better choice at the time.
That's what I wanted to do at the time. That's what I felt I'd missed it enough, and I wanted to go and do that. And
do you ever regret that decision? But looking back at the Commonwealth Games,
a wee bit at times. Not going. It's been great to go to Australia when you're not paid. Somebody else is paying for you to go, and everything's covered, and it would have been a great experience. Same with Portugal, going over there and training. It was a great experience. But I don't really regret it. It's like I don't regret many things, to be honest. 'Cause I just, once something's done, it's done, and I can't look back and change things. And it's with the benefit of hindsight, looking back now, it's pointless, really, isn't it, for me to regret that? I just at that time in my life, that's who I was, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go Ibiza with my mates, and go to clubs and have fun and do all that. And I want to go there.
Going to Ibiza itself, a boxing match anyway, innit? On a stump in a strip.
We don't talk about Ibiza, it's a bad word.
My stories, is there?
We need to know what's happened now. What's happened?
Do you know
who touched you?
His name was Jordan, he was going bald and all that. I don't know what happened.
Violation.
Calling it a bald joke again.
Just to finish on that one, Grant. Not that I'm changing subject, but so there was six fights in 2 years, undefeated.
Aye.
I mean, that's, as a pro boxer, that's pretty impressive.
That's an impressive record, that one.
Aye, cheers, thanks.
Then you totally went off a grid. Was it 5 years?
Aye, 5.5 years. I never fought again. And that was near the end of those 6 fights. I had a big fight for the Scottish title with a guy called Tommy Philippin. We fought twice in amateurs and were one each.
Is he unbeaten when you?
Then?
Aye.
I'm sure I've seen a video of this boy calling you.
Aye, it was a great fight. It was a great fight because we had 2 cracking fights in amateurs, and I couldn't wait for it. I was looking forward to it. I really couldn't wait for it. When I ran up to that fight, I think it was 2 fights, like kind of warm-up fights is what I call them, and they had cancelled like the day before. And at the time as well, my mind was also in the fact that I was skint all the time.
Yeah.
I had no money, maybe overcommitted myself financially at certain things, and just I was worrying about money, and I wanted to I worked as a scaffolder, and I knew that there was opportunities there to go kind of offshore and work in these places and make good money, and I wanted to obviously get enough together for a deposit to buy a house for me and my partner at the time and move on in that part of my life. And I felt staying boxing, doing that and the life I had then, it just wasn't going to ever happen. And with the call-offs and that, I just thought, right, I'm not fighting in June, I'm not fighting. But even that, I just stopped fighting altogether. It wasn't like I just pulled out that fight. I just totally stopped boxing and ended up going away to work. I went to New Zealand for 3 months and was short of 3 months. Came back and then went offshore and worked.
Right.
And I just was kind of, at that time, my focus was on just kind of earning money and getting money put by to get a house and stuff like that. And that was my main focus. And to be honest, I never really gave boxing much thought. I didn't give it much thought at all. And it wasn't until the goal I had then was get enough to get a house and get dogs and all that stuff. And once I got all that, it was like boxing was sort of
it's missing. So
in the back burner,
aye, and it was eating away at me. I wanted to do it again. I missed it.
5 years, it's a long time, innit?
It is.
Especially, as you say, it was a passion, it was part of your life all growing up. In those 5 years, was there any problems, kind of like from mental health to any abuse of substances or anything like that? Was there anything that kept you maybe occupied, instead of than driving you back to the ring?
My life was pretty much work away, 3-week trips offshore, came home, and during my 3 weeks home, I did a couple of bullets, go out and drink, and I loved to drink. It was I couldn't wait to get home to go. You know what I mean? Sometimes I would get into Aberdeen, I'd get into the train station, bar, and check what time my train was and ram as many pints in as I could before the train get there. And that's my focus. That's what I done. It's probably just like a lot of people do. It turned to be kind of unhealthy for me. It was quite an obsession I had over it. But drink was just sort of like the top of my value structure. That's the way to put it. It was I valued it more than everything else. It always came first. It was like sort of kind of decided for me what I was doing with my time, and it was the sort of be all and end all for me.
So there seems to be a trend, not so much a trend, but I think it's just becoming more out there. It's with combat athletes, whether it be high profile boxers or MMA stars. When they're off grid or they're no fighting or they kind of go in a slump, it seems to be heavy hard on the drink, and it's no everybody's kind of.
Look at Ricky Hart, and he kind of
John
done
Jones,
that between
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury's a big one,
aye.
Jink that's because he's so disciplined when he's gone for it that it's not even a thought, and then when you get that chance to go and just have a total blowout it just feels magic, and you just think, this is class.
Aye, I suppose that.
And it's easy to pick a pint glass up, isn't it?
That's definitely a big part of it. And there is a trend, as you say, between combat athletes that are like that. Like even a lot of like kind of local boxers I know as well are like mad to see that raw. So I suppose you need to be kind of mad to some extent if you want to get in a ring
punch in the head a couple of times.
Aye, and fight each other, you know. But there definitely is like a sort of commonality there, and I think it's when you are fighting and your training you're so focused on like an image or a visualization of what you want to achieve, and it's brilliant because you've got like a lot of purpose, and it's a great feeling when you've got something ahead of you and you can feel yourself getting closer and closer to that goal, and then when you've not got that, it's just kind of like, right, what's
something to fill the void,
something to fill that void, something that gives you the same sort of buzz. And
so would you say that period in your life there was the lowest period you've had, that 5 year out of boxing?
There was good times and bad times, I suppose. There was good times and bad times. It's maybe I can't look at it now. It's just sort of all part of my journey and where I'm at now as a person. So I don't.
So what was the light bulb moment? What flipped the switch for you to say, right, fuck it, I'm going back. I'm going to gear this everything. I'm going back.
Basically, I'd been saying to myself for so many times, and I text my coach Kenny that I'm coming back. I want to fight again, and it was hard kind of try to work that out with offshore because I was like obviously away and for like 3 weeks at a time and stuff.
Aye.
And if I was 3-3, it would have worked because like could work out when I was home and stuff like that.
Aye.
But then I actually changed contract on this thing. It was like a permanent retainer contract where you didn't really know when you were going to be away. It was like your permanent job, but you were getting sort of used and abused much more. So I just couldn't box that, and at that point I decided in my head that I wanted to box, but it just wasn't working with that job. And when I came back, I ended up doing enough offshore. I didn't like it anymore, and I got a job in Ferguson's shipyard where I stay. And that was it. I was like, we can do this now. And
so Ferguson's accommodating for you then, aye?
Aye, it was good. It was good at the time. It was good while it lasted because obviously it's only 5 minutes away, and I could train at night. After work I could train before work as well sometimes. So it allowed me to box again. That's the thing as well. I mean, I've obviously got these like financial commitments on mortgage, other bills that I can't just sort of run away from. Just so I had to sort of make my work life work for boxing to happen. But no, I knew within myself I really wanted to do it again. Like you could probably say there was like a series of light bulb moments where it was like I need to get back, and you were thinking about it and it got you like that way.
Just ignited that fire again.
That fire, that hunger and excitement, and just the buzz that that's definitely doing this again. And when I get back working at home, I had my last fight in April there.
Aye.
That was obviously my first fight back in 5.5 years. I was meant to fight a few times before that, but there was like a series of setbacks. I was meant to fight in the September, that'd be 2021. I posted my comeback fight, and I've been sparring, and it was all going to happen, but I had an accident at work. I fell and fractured my pelvis. So that put me out for a bit, and then I think the next day it was November, COVID, right before it. I was knackered.
That fucked everything up.
And then it was January, and I tore ligaments in my AC joint, and that was off. So, and then there was March, and the opponent pulled out a couple of days before the fight and went and fought on a Sky Sports show instead. So I see all these setbacks, and that was like kind of hard dealing with that. When it was you sold tickets and people were like in their suits and ready to go, and you're like, it's not going to happen. Sorry. But then eventually it did happen in April. That was the night for Cash Farouk. We should have heard of Cash, cracking boxer. He had to retire. Something to do with his medical. So it was like a tribute night for him, and I got in that show 28th of April.
Good man. That was neat. Do you know something? I think you'll believe this, but I've actually trained beside you before.
Aye.
He's a punch bag.
See, and what, the shipyard? No. See, in Kenny's back room, where you've obviously got the weight machines and all that.
Aye.
Me and Burkie were in there doing PT with Sean Mackay before, and Kenny had you in.
You were
going through
polishing the weights.
No, right? No, but we were out of breath doing 10 fucking sit-ups or whatever, and it is fucking... you were just going through all the motions, mate. I didn't touch myself for a month, man. I felt so emasculated, man. How can this man be doing all this and I'm here like a fucking fat mess?
Do you feel as
Honestly,
if...
seriously,
Aye.
I fucking never felt so low in my life, man.
Did you know it was Grant you were training next day? Like, did you
thought
know...
it was fucking Thor. no, I just knew it was some fit cunt, man. I felt like a fucking weakling.
Some fit cunt.
see in like your training camps, right? If you got like a guy that you've always got to have with you, like a hype man, have you got somebody like that in your corner? There's no other.
no.
He's like
That's
Jordan
his
to us. He's a hype man.
That's his
He's
sole
the guy, you know what I mean?
That's his sole job. No, really. I'd say my the relationship I have with my coach Ken, he's kind of all those things for me. Like, you know,
Aye.
just kind of put rub like ice and behind my ears before the fight, and just keep nice and calm, talking, talk about strategy, things we're going to do, and things to work on, and we'll say, "Go out and fucking enjoy it." That's what he always says. And
Is there a theme like music that you listen to the same song all the time? It gets you G'd up for the fight, or
there's any sort of there's a lot of songs that I listen to, because even when I go out running,
nothing specific.
nothing specific.
Mate, there's no like Eye of the Tiger kind of thing.
there's no specific song. No, there's none.
Nah.
But there's plenty of songs that I listen to that do get me up for it.
What you listening to then? What kind of?
I can't go for my running playlist.
What's
Is
your
a
go-to?
mixture. My go-to, I actually like a wee bit of Limp Bizkit for training.
Aye,
see,
Aye.
Don't start.
I'm for
that,
a
man.
mate.
Aye.
See, because I've got a beard and I wear black lace. See football. I'm the golf. I'm the fat golf.
He's
That's what I
fucking
get.
limp soggy biscuit.
Because I drink the odd can of Monster, I'm a fat golf. That's what I get.
You've got pet bats on all, but
I've got what?
Pet bats.
My pet bat, aye. A bit of heat off it,
Ozzy Osbourne style.
But see how obviously you're saying about obviously like you came from a good family, you know. What about kind of role model? Would you say Kenny was like a big influence on you?
Aye, definitely. It was definitely a good role model. Sort of a very, very stoic guy. Sort of calm, collected, and aye, no, he's a great coach and a great friend.
Was
Aye.
Kenny a good fighter as well?
Aye, he was. I don't know much about Kenny's career. I think he's got many videotapes and anything like that as well. I think I've only seen like maybe one he showed me before. But it was, I think he had a good left hook on him. I think he put a few people to sleep with that.
Aye.
I remember trying to do a pull up in his gym, man. I couldn't get one. No, it was
Was that last night?
I was talking about doing that PT with Sean, and mind they used to do dancing in that gym with all
Aye.
his birds, and they was doing like kind of to test your strength and all that, and all the birds were lined up doing burlesque, and he says, "Go and do a pull up on that bar, see how many you can do." Couldn't get one.
Was that a lay down one like that?
No, it was just a normal one. Aye. Couldn't get one, mate, and obviously I had the plans in my head I was going to fire into every one of them, I know, but obviously not. after
Not
that.
after your pathetic one.
Didn't go with plan.
No, shite, man.
We'll jump to that fight in April, Grant. I've seen this a few times. I was doing the rounds. Fought Lewis Palmer. He was quite a tough opponent. Very good fighter.
Aye, he was.
In that
Aye.
fight as well. What happened on that night? Big fight.
Aye.
Big star-studded crowd as well, wasn't it?
Aye.
It was feeling building up to that night.
It was. See the way that fight happened was my promoter phoned me. I think it was a week before the fight. Your opponent you've got, he's not going to make it. You've got your opponent, a guy called Lewis Palmer. He's quite handy. He's quite good. So I obviously I was on YouTube to see if there's any videos. Then I watched him and I thought, oh, this guy's he's a good mover and plenty of confidence and good sort of like confident sort of aura about the way he moves, and quite a big boy as well, but decent counter puncher. Like so I thought for my first fight back in 5.5 years, it's not going to be an easy fight. I'm not just going to walk through this guy, and I'll need to be on my game, and so that's kind of how that happened. But I was kind of glad that's what you want. That's the whole part of boxing. That's what you're in it for, you know. And there's much harder fights than that out there. But for the first fight back, it was definitely a hard fight. It wasn't like he's got me a run-of-the-mill journeyman. It was a guy, you know, he think he's if his first fight with that prospect, Mali Wright, I actually thought he won it. I actually thought he won that fight, and so did a lot of people. And he fought another cruiserweight. It was Jack Fay. And going with what I've read about that fight, a lot of people say they won that as well, but it was on that guy's home show. So that's really, you can look at 2 wins against 2 decent prospects. And he was active. He'd been fighting recently, and whereas I wasn't. That's just my first fight back. So I knew it wasn't going to exactly be an easy night. But the night of the fight, I just kind of kept my composure. Then I want to sort of be, overcommitting, and because I knew he was quite good at moving and counterpunch. So then I wanted to kind of chase him about the ring. I just thought, like the experience plays a part there, where you know that you could get in and just chase him, and you still could win a fight that way. But I thought a bit more calculated and calm, and as if rounds are going on, I was starting to sort of throw more punches, double up my punches.
See, when you watch your first couple of rounds, the two look like two trains sitting into each other. It's a proper.
Oh aye.
There's blows landing.
Oh aye.
And obviously, you're saying you've got a plan through these rounds, but the first couple of rounds I've watched, that I'm not just being biased. I think you're in control of it. Comes to round 5, which is the round, isn't it?
That's the round, aye.
And then I'll let you.
Aye, so the way that happened is, obviously the fight was kind of building. I'd say I definitely won the first and the second, just kind of like landed cleaner shots. I knew I was winning. Third round was I think actually when I watched it back, I thought the third round maybe could have went either way. He caught me a good left hook in that round. It buzzed me a wee tiny bit. And then so after that I thought, right, back to composure. Kenny the word with me saying, right, you're sort of waiting too long, double up the jabs. And so that's the way the fight got. The fourth round I boxed much better, throwing more jabs. Came to the fifth round and it was going the same way. And there was a bit in it actually where I kind of cut him off and he kind of slips and I chase him and he's against the ropes and I kind of sort of push him with my left hand to throw a right hook to his body. And he's just to force that, I think, is kind of, as he's moving back, it's knocked him through the ropes. So the referee gave him a count, which I don't know if it's part of the rules. You get a count for falling through ropes, I don't know. But he didn't need the count. He wasn't hurt. So he didn't deserve a count. And you can see at the time this happened that he came in and he was like shaking his head as if, I'm not happy about this. Like, it's going to be a close fight and that count's going to make it maybe a 10-8 round. So he started bringing the fight to me. And that was his sort of inexperience. That was like showing that was the mistake he made, because that's what I like. People coming to me to fight, it's the way I like to fight. I have to trade. And that's what happened. They came right at me, kind of went for me. And just during that, the exchanges, there was a point where he was a bit brash, sort of. He wasn't sort of thinking too much about what was coming back, and he's coming towards me just to kind of offload on me, and I just throw it, just a jab. It's not even like a big hook or a backhand, just a jab straight down the middle. He stepped into it and caught him right in the chin, and his whole kind of body wobbled a bit. And I knew instantly that what hurt him was the way he'd moved, so I went in for the kill. I threw a straight right and he kind of ducked under it, and I threw a left hook and it missed, and then as I missed the left hook, I've placed my left hand on his head to watch where it's going, because I'm not too worried about what's coming back, because I know he's hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging his head and I throw a right, and that sort of misses and skiffs. But that happens, he gets underneath my right hand, and as he gets under, he's coming up to throw a punch at me, but I'm quicker, I've seen him coming, so as I've turning around like this and he's coming up to hit me, I've caught him first, just with the left hook, right in the button, and it was a devastating knockout, really. It was, and it was one of the punches where I didn't even feel it. See, like, sometimes when you hit people, you feel like it sort of impact you right through your hand. I didn't feel a thing. It was as if it just went right through, like, wet tilly, just right through there. And I think that was just because how hard I threw it as well. It just totally, obviously, rattled.
So you went back into your corner. Obviously, everybody's going mental in there because everybody knows it's light suit. Obviously, Lewis Palmer's, he's in a world of hurt, isn't he, on that canvas?
Aye, it was, obviously, he didn't respond. He didn't. His coach came in the ring and was, Lewis, like, can I wake up? And doctors came jumping into the ring, and he wasn't responding. And I just wasn't sure if it was, at the time I was just thinking it's like, it's been a good knockout, like he's going to be knocked out for a bit, he'll come to. But he never. Well, I was there and eventually they came in with a stretcher and took him away. I think what happened was they eventually got him into the ambulance. I don't know if it was he came to in the ambulance, and I think he had a seizure. So they had to put him in an induced coma because he had a bleed to the brain. And he was in a coma for 8 days, I believe, and then he woke up.
Where are you mentally here at this point? When obviously because you're on cloud 9 for winning that fight, it's a big fight. It's in front of some crowd as well. And I'm sure Josh Taylor and that were.
Aye, Josh Taylor,
present
Steve
as
McGregor
well.
was there. Uh-huh.
I mean, where are you? Are you obviously this is going to play in your mind when it settles down? Are you still celebrating here because you've got all your pals that way, or you genuinely?
No, I
Shine it
didn't. I
here.
thought that was it going. See the whole that like, high of winning, like, the victory and stuff. That was going.
Yeah, it's like
Instantly
zero
going.
instant, isn't it?
It was like people were saying it was like kind of bittersweet in a sense, but it was like it was good at the time, and I knocked him out and I was celebrating, like really kind of buzzing. Then when I knew something not right here, it just totally, I was worried for him. I just nobody wants to see it happening. As a boxer, you get in there
He's a
to
gladiator,
win,
isn't
but
he?
you just don't want to do that to somebody.
No,
You don't. You want to knock people out and that, but you want them to be okay after.
I get him the families.
They've got families to help me and stuff, and
Aye, guys get mortgages
you
to
don't want
pay
that to
and
happen.
things like
And
that.
I didn't even get to really celebrate because of that. And obviously, when I coma, you're kind of going like, what's going to happen here? There's a chance this guy might not wake up.
Because a few years prior to you fighting in that same ring, it was in a Radisson, wasn't it? Radisson Blue.
Aye,
Mikey Till, Iron Mike.
that's right. Aye, yeah.
I mean, I became quite pal with Mike through a boys we knew for Dundee in the army. I happened in the exact same ring, kind of same idea.
Well, I was a fight before it as well.
That's crazy, man.
I was a fight before it.
So did that all start going through your mind that this is happening again?
Aye, what it did, it brought back, it's like, when I think see at times when incidents happen in your life that are like scary or like traumatic, there's like a feeling you get inside, that sort of familiar like energy, like sharpness, like dull, like ache. And that's what I had after it. It was just totally, because it was the same place in Radisson. After it just sort of brought all that back, because I remember that with Mike Tibble, and I was at the ringside like kind of watching the fight, and you realise like, oh, he's not right here. And then his mum, they only recently started letting women go to the St Andrews Club because it was a gentleman's club, and his mum was at the back of the hall, and you can see her like looking at her facial expression, like worried sick, and it just it was horrible. And I just kind of sort of familiar thing with what happened to my last fight as well. So it brought all that kind of feeling back.
I see that left hook. See the money shot. Had you been training? Was that your like
Game plan.
trademark kind of?
No, it's not really, to be honest. It's one of the like.
Just opportunity presented itself.
Just an opportunity to present itself, and at that level of boxing, it's like you work on everything. Like when you get to high level of boxing, it's like you do work on certain maybe combos or things like that, but it really, when you higher up you go, it's like you just practice all that stuff, and it's you throw what's necessary for what's happening at the time in the ring.
See, I just want to ask you like, what your views are. You remember Deontay Wilder, and he's saying that he wanted a body on his. How did that?
See, that's a horrible thing to say. That is, and I remember him saying that before this happened to like with my last fight, and I remember thinking, that's just an arsehole saying that. It's not nice to say that, and then now actually being in a situation where that could have been a possibility, you just think, how could you say that?
I mean, see if you're fighting somebody.
I hope it doesn't mean it. I hope it doesn't actually mean it. That's the thing. You know?
Are you see if you're say you're fighting your opponent and he's giving you that part before the fight. I want this body count. I want that one. You're going to be it. No, that. How does that change your aspect, or do you? Obviously, I know as a boxer you're disciplined. At the end of the day, that's what you're trained to do. But are you thinking, I'm doing him here because he's thinking that's his mindset at starting a fight?
See, in a sort of way, that's kind of like they've been in school and people talking about you on Facebook and stuff, and then getting into the pro boxing world. It's kind of translates into the same thing, doesn't it?
Well, when you're talking about that, the body count thing, the highest profile one was Nigel Benn. I can remember. Do you remember that fight?
Look at
what was the other guy's name? McFarlane.
Was it McClellan?
McClellan. Aye. Ben said something after it, and now it haunts him. I think he said something about. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it wasn't nice. It wasn't nice. And now he says it haunts him. It actually haunts him.
It's in the heat of the moment, isn't it? That that instant, like he's probably just said something off the cuff and not realised how insensitive and like wrong it was. But I don't know, what he said. Do you remember what he said?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It's just something I just remembered there, but I'll look it up.
I do remember. I remember because
he was interviewed right after the fight. He had his tracksuit on. It was outside the arena, Have you got it there?
No, mate, I just wanted to go on my web browser and it's porn that's on it.
Oh, superb. What kind of form was it?
Midget. Midget feeds a goat.
Back to Palmer. Did you get in touch with him after he came to and that?
I never directly, no. I didn't really want to either, to be honest. I didn't know what to say at the time. But it was like everything was still kind of raw. But my coach, Kenny, he was speaking to Lewis's mum.
Aye.
He was getting updated through her and stuff. And Kenny got a card and we took it into the boxing gym and everybody signed it. Just kind of saying, obviously, hopefully recover and get well soon and stuff like that. And there was like a Just Giving page set up and I put a donation on that and left a nice message. But I don't know, I just don't know what I'd have said.
It would be awkward.
It would have been awkward and obviously I really wanted everything to work out well for him. I really did. But I wasn't keen on meeting him after it. I'd meet him now, no bother that, but just at the time when it was all sort of, well, I'm probably the last person he wanted to see as well, so I just don't think it was really appropriate for that time.
It'd be a bit tough. Training, 9 weeks? You're the guy he's got to beat, so he's got you and he said he needs to beat you, and then
that's
if
it.
he's commit a coma, he's one of the first people to see. I get
it's a shame because I seen interviews of him and you could tell he was really motivated and I think he had a lot of belief. You know, you could see him in the way he speaks, and when he's interviewed, he says he was kind of wanting to go in and be a world champion as well, and talking about his promoter, Junior Witter, who was kind of similar to him. I think he lost his first couple of fights and then went on to become a world champion. And I think that's the way Lewis was. He was game. He would just take fights, and he was fighting, you know, good guys like me, 6-0 at the time. And I think he came at night and believed he was going to win. You know, thought this guy's been out of the ring for 5 years. I'm going to get up there and turn him over, and he came to win. And so it's a shame because he probably had a lot of motivation and excitement and got a lot of positive energy from boxing, and that all came to a halt after that one night.
Well, you're saying bittersweet with you being out of the ring for 5 years. That win to the style of the win as well. But that'd have been a hard thing to take.
It was scary. It was scary as well because you're part of it. You know, you think that could have been me. Which is not a good thought to have when you're a professional fighter. You know what I mean? But it's a reality, especially with the Mike Till situation. Then that happening, that's 2 instances where I've been sort of closely involved with. So it's a definite possibility that can happen. It's not pieing this guy at all. And you know, some people say it's the worst that can happen. You'll not kill you, die. Whereas like, no, it literally could.
See on that. See the Ben one and Gerald McClellan. Apparently he's went back to his corner and he says to his trainer that he feels if water's running in his head. That's when he's obviously collapsed. So like that's
I know that McClellan's corner was criticised because they were heavily criticised. They should have stopped that fight because he couldn't see or nothing, man. He should have stopped that fight.
They should have.
But what with Ben, he just went out to do a job.
It's not
and
really
he had done his job. But there's another one recently with Eubank, and it was Eubank Junior that's fighting, but Chris Eubank was saying to Junior, "Stop hitting that boy's head." This fight is.
What fight was that again?
Was that Nick Blackwell?
I think but he said stop hitting him in the head. This referee should stop this fight. That corner should stop this fight, and he never. And Junior just went for the body. He won the fight, but Eubank Senior was praised for.
I remember
possibly saving that.
I remember that. That's a nice touch.
It was a horrible. See, the last few rounds, it was a horrible fight to watch because it weird nothing, man.
So where do you think this sits? We go back to a combat athlete, and they're getting told to do this and do that. Where do you think that sits then mentally? Do you think, I mean, because we're obviously we've all served the soldiers.
You would know yourself, being a boxer. You're thinking, I'm going out my shield. As a soldier, we're going out our shield.
It's going to do something that you don't see.
You're going out and you're putting everything.
And the thing is too, I think a lot of fighters have that and a lot of fighters don't. And you see it in fights where maybe you can see they're still there a bit, or they've got an option to continue, and you see it's like they'll look at their corner or they'll stay on their knee, and that's usually a sign where they go, no, I've had enough. And some guys don't have that. Some guys have that, no, I'm going out in my shield. Like Muhammad Ali was probably the best example of that, and he just, you had to kill Ali to beat him. And it's a dangerous mentality to have because there's a time where it's like you could be getting battered over the place and you really should probably there's no point in you being there anymore.
This is going to be Tyson Fury, I think.
Aye.
Grant, have you
He's
ever
gonna be
felt
one of
that?
them.
See, like, you were talking about Lou Palmer, and you're saying that you've seen he's been rocked. Have you ever been in that situation where like you've been rocked yourself, and like how does your mindset? What does that get through when you're going, oh fuck, I'm over the place here?
Aye, I've not really been like a couple of times where you just get wee sort of flashes and stuff. It happened a few times, even some amateur fights it happened. You sort of bounce back, but actually in that Lewis Palmer fight, the third round, they caught me a left hook. I think I had like, kind of threw a left hook, and my right hand was a bit low, and as I've come through, he's come up as I've through, and it caught me right in the top of the head, and I felt like I sort of like, it's a weird feeling. It's like a sort of jolt through your body, and your legs feel a wee bit weak.
Your legs not go weak a lot, John.
No,
That's just a midget ball for him.
Have you never felt that?
but I've been in a couple of fights, man. I've not won one.
He knocked me over a packet of Skittles in Afghan.
Oh,
One
brilliant.
packet of Skittles,
brilliant.
isn't it?
See, I don't think we're not wired up right, man. The 2 years will just go like, just a wee fight.
I sold John the Skittles. That's what I
Start
go.
off in each
2 years
other.
like he's at like heavyweight, and I'm so much lighter than him. But I'd get like
fact,
10
he-
punches into him, and he'd get one. So I'd be fucking popping a few into his face, and then as soon as he connected, I'd be like, oh shit.
All over the
And
place.
it's the wobbles, man. But aye, that packet of Skittles, I was starving, man. It was Afghan. You don't get Skittles in Afghan. I was getting that packet of Skittles.
Did you think did that play a part in your mind that I don't want to do this anymore, or did it spur you on to? Because I mean, at the end of the day, you've went and won that fight, and it's a massive win. So does Grant Quigley turn around and say, "I'm done with that. I don't want to see it again," or are you going, right? Who's my next opponent here?
It was. I kind of took a wee bit of time to reflect on it, and I had a fight booked for June, so it was quite close after that fight. And my coach Kenny met me the next day at Greg's and just see how I was, and spoke to me if I wanted to still go ahead with this June fight, and I said, aye, yeah, I want to. I still wanted to, because I sort of had accepted that as much as it was still bothering me and stuff, but I'd accepted that it wasn't really my fault, that, you know, we're both running out to do a job, and that's just the outcome was what happened. So I still wanted to fight, and I was meant to fight in June, but I actually ended up getting it was like you had a post-viral fatigue.
What's that?
No,
No.
it's like I got a cold, and I basically just trained right through it, and then it was like a couple of weeks after that, I just started having no energy, like none. Like I was like sleeping like 12 hours like solid a night, which is loads for me. Just so like lethargic in a way, so tired, and it just wouldn't go away. I thought it was wondering what's wrong, and that's what it was. So I went to doctors and stuff like that about it, and
I'd have panicked. See if I was a fighter, I'd have been like, I've something's happened here, because what's just happened.
COVID or
it's
something.
basically what it is your immune system goes into overdrive because it's trying to fight an infection, and you're not giving it rest, and you keep training. So that's what basically happened. So then it's like the intelligence of the body takes over and makes you take a rest. So it makes you feel like tired and down, and so you actually rest.
Aye.
That's just kind of the
See, I get this. I mean, I've not done it. You've done it, but I get this. Fighters are mentally drained all the time. See when you see their interviews, like obviously you've got to cut weight and all that. I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, this must be frying their nut. I mean, the best example I've seen is when McGregor dropped to his lowest point. I know it's UFC. And it was disgusting. I'm like, you can't be healthy up there, never mind physically. You're mentally must be destroyed. How do you, have you had to cut weight like that? Have you had to cut hard?
Never actually had to cut that bad. I've had to cut weight and make weight, but never to the point where I've really like at that kind of level.
Dehydrate yourself
like
and
that. No.
Was it towels in the bath? No, that kind of hot towels now.
Aye, bin bags on, sweats on and stuff. Aye. I've done that. Just like put sweats on and maybe skip for like maybe half an hour or 4 away, and if you're still up like point, maybe like 5 or 6 over. But I never to that level where it was killing me. I've always been much of the mindset that I don't mind fighting bigger guys. I'll just cut my weight. Like, I don't. I maybe get a better chance going down lower, but to me it's just.
It's a liberty going doing that.
Aye, and it's
you're a
you're
bigger
putting
guy.
yourself through as well. When I think, well, why not just go at a weight it's more natural to you? And it is dangerous in all weight cuts. Like it definitely is, because obviously you reduce the amount of fluid in your head, and then you can actually get knocked out easier because there's not so much fluid. I think what causes concussion is when like, your brain touches like your skeletal wall,
Aye.
and it causes you to sort of be concussed. So there's less fluid up there. You can be actually more chinny, like more. a jab could sort of wobble you. I've seen it happening.
See when you turn pro, is there any like, because there's a big thing in football just now, and it's about people heading the ball. There's a lot of kind of older players, obviously.
Jordan say feel it. He don't body weekend.
Jordan, don't worry, mate. He just grows his
So I
fringe
know
and
you're
flings
trying to
it
be all
back,
serious
man.
and that there, right? Maybe you're saying
Right, so you know how like just now there's a big thing in football where like kind of older players have a lot of them's developing the dementia and all that kind of stuff. When you turn pro, is there any like kind of organisations that kind of warn you about these things or try and
No, really.
Nothing?
Well, not in my experience. No, not really. Nothing's ever said to me really about it. That you know, you just gotta know if it's not good to take too many punches. And the way I fought, I always had a really tight defence. I was always sort of close guard, really tight. So I never, to be honest, in my boxing career, I've not took a lot of punishment. To be honest, I've always been with quite a good defence.
good?
See if something happened, if you reversed the rules and it was Parliament that caught you that way, and would you have walked away from boxing? What if that would have happened to him? So
Nope.
you've been put in a coma and all that. Would you have walked away?
Pretty confident I would have.
Aye.
Obviously, you're not really got an option because you're not got a license. You can't fight again after that. But obviously, you get to fight. Like I actually think that Nick Blackwell, he started sparring in that again after having a brain injury, and then he had the brain injury again. So some fighters can't leave it alone. They can't come away from it. But I do know that if that happened to me, like it's like God, like the next time could kill you. Like
I
Right
remember
back to the
looking.
scaffolding.
You remember
Aye.
the documentary about
Like
Frank
the flying
Bruno?
scaffold of it.
I mean, a documentary about Frank Bruno was going about.
Right, and he was outside
They
shadow
were
box
in his house and that, and he was talking to his gate and all that, and he was talking to somebody at his gate,
Aye.
and his daughter was saying, "Oh, that's because basically when he'd retired, he was still boxing, as and he was sparring, going down a gym, he was still taking blows." And she was saying, "Oh, that's basically that's the outcome, mate." I'm like, surely somebody somewhere must turn around and go, "You can't do that anymore." That's it. Or did they just let
it's
you?
hard to watch because he's one of life's good guys, isn't he?
But people like that's went through all their life being the alpha male and saying that they're not going to let him tell them not to.
Well, this is the next thing I was going to say. All people see is as a fighter, a warrior. They don't see a dad, a husband, family. Do you know what I mean? They don't see us. So it's like, is it told? You'll know, Grant. As you're growing up through the pro ranks, you're a boxer. You must. Is it that kind of thing, or is it down to you?
It's the environment that you're in. That is the kind of environment you're in, especially in gyms where you're training with other fighters. That you're all sort of training for the same like, goal, and you all sort of egg each other on. There's loads of ego involved, of course there is. And it's, you know, you don't want to show weakness and you suppress lots of stuff, and you speak to Chris Eubank, yeah, it's like somebody that's went their life and won so many world titles and been an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Like the guy probably does feel unstoppable, like untouchable.
Aye.
Like so, and there's not a lot of awareness there for him to tell you that all these punches could end up, you know. I think there's more awareness about it now, but not then there isn't. And like obviously you need that CTE, heard of that. Like, a lot of American footballers get that for just running for like headers and that as well. But there definitely needs to be, I think, more awareness about it, and they need to kind of tell fighters that more. You get a brain scan every year. See that for the British Boxing Board of Control. You need to get a brain scan every year. That checks just in case there's anything there.
Is this just recent it's come in, or has this always been a kind of thing?
I think it's been a while now. When I first turned pro, I'm sure it might have been every year, but I, for some reason I thought it was every 3 years.
Aye.
But now it is definitely every year.
I think it needs to. I mean, it's heartbreaking. I loved Eubank growing up. Because he was eccentric and what. And you look at him now, and it's.
We've seen a video of him dancing about.
It's entertaining, right? But see, at the same time, I'm like, I loved that guy. I genuinely
was a hero.
thought he was unbelievable. And now I'm looking at him, I'm like, somebody.
He was a showman, wasn't he?
Somebody step in. Do you know what I mean?
Nazi Mohammed, aye.
And he's mentally. I know it's my opinion, but he's mentally ill. But everybody's still letting it happen out there, and it's a sin, man.
He's just lost a son as well, hasn't he?
That's right. Yeah, he actually on a podcast recently. Was it the Disruptive Entrepreneur podcast? He was on. I forget the guy's name. Rob something. It was Rob Moore. I can't remember. But on that, you can hear how bad it's got for him. Like just the way he speaks, he's on a different planet. It really is. And I think it's maybe sounds like the sort of manic phase of bipolar.
Aye,
People are saying like it's great. It's a shame. And I don't think it was very nice like, that guy releasing that.
It's went viral as well, innit? And obviously
Aye.
it's people that fucking the big thing people saying is how many grams has he took and all that, and you don't know, is it because of the amount of punches he's taking, is it because he's going through a manic?
Well, I think
episode?
if there's going to be any sort of like brain disease or anything like that, it's going to be in your combat athletes, your football players that head on the ball all the time, rugby players. I think that's just part and parcel of what it is. But
you can compare this to which I say compare. It's similar to what everyone, all three of us have been diagnosed with PTSD. I didn't know what that was. Then I've been told it's trauma to the brain. And a doctor explained to me it's very similar to taking blows to the head, but the damage it does to your brain because it causes your brain to act different. So obviously I was looking into things like trying to understand PTSD a bit more, try to understand where it comes from. And everywhere I looked, there would maybe 2 or 3 links down the line it would come to where it would be Tyson Fury talking about stuff, or it would be Frank Bruno was talking about, it was talking about Chris Eubank. It was always going back to fighters. So it made me think, surely somewhere along the line, somebody can recognise. I'm not saying you shouldn't be in a ring in boxing, because let's be honest, it's the sport is phenomenal. It's just 2 gladiators going for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that should change in any way, but surely somebody can recognise, right, this guy's finished. Let's grab him. Let's make sure he's all right and take it from there. Instead of letting them go on TV programmes and walk about with their taps off in their front garden,
as much as I don't like this guy, Jake Paul's got something going on now.
Oh, the goal.
Where he's doing this insurance for fighters, and he's trying
healthcare.
He's trying that healthcare.
And the
I think
PFL,
that is a great thing.
Aye.
I think that is a great thing because there's no enough out there for fighters. I mean, if they had that healthcare, then Iron Mike, he would have probably benefited from it. And guys like
100%, aye. I totally agree. There needs to be more help.
I do think you need to call Jake Paul out and just smash him, but aye.
I like Jake Paul.
I'd fight Jake Paul in a heartbeat.
I think he's brilliant.
Aye, Tommy Fury.
Do you
Same night.
not think Jake Paul? I think Jake Paul's brilliant.
Could even time my laces again.
He's polarising, isn't he? That's the word for it. He's brought
good.
so much
I
light.
don't think he's that good.
No. So what do you see Sunday going like?
I think Tommy Fury should win, but the thing is though,
can't show his face
there's
again
much
if it
more
doesn't.
pressure on Tommy Fury than there is Jake
course.
Paul, and it can be a hard thing to deal with. A lot of fighters can fold under pressure. The sort of momentum, the occasion can be too much for them. And I've got a fear that might happen to Tommy.
I don't think so.
Sunday.
He's
I hope not. I hope
He's just called his Wayne Bambi. I mean, fucking pressures. How much more pressure do you need?
Aye.
Shut up.
He's the Bambi Fury.
I'm saying none because Big Tyson will appear in about 20 minutes. So, not
Fury.
Tyson, he's
What
Darth
they're saying
Jones.
is-
Big Joy
Fury.
Big
Oh, I love that guy, man.
Big Joy, he's funny, isn't he? That's on his
But
class.
that's another one I look at right away and I go, he's got mental health issues. I'm not trying to be a doctor here. John Fury.
I think so.
See,
man.
Aye.
See,
Do you think?
if you watch John
I think
Fury,
so,
see, he's instant sort of recourse to like that violence, like so easily. It's like on call, just in demand, like you
Aye,
get it
that's
like
what-
that.
aye.
That's definitely some form of maybe like trauma. It's something where he's felt inside. He feels like a scared little boy.
Aye.
And when certain things make him feel that way, his response is to straight to violence, and fighting and all the rest of it. And
But do you not think that's his culture? But
that's his
He's-
culture.
he's-
Aye,
he
definitely.
was a traveller, wasn't he?
Definitely,
He's
but he
good. I
definitely,
think the travelling
definitely
folk
seems
are-
unhinged at
are just-
sometimes.
One wee argument, I'm fighting you.
Aye.
That's
Aye.
it. There's no ifs, buts or maby's.
There's definitely trauma there, isn't there?
Aye,
Definitely
much-
is.
be, man.
How much of that show? But because you see him, when he was in the ring here and with Tommy Fury's last fight, and he's got a tap and that off, and obviously he knows all eyes are on him. I think it's an element of it selling fights, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
It's not my proudest one.
Well,
Jake
he probably likes the
Paul.
attention.
Tommy Fury stood in that ring with a pair of New Balance runners on, mate, and I was like, oh, mate, is he Jake Paul called out? He's like, what are those on your feet? He's standing there with a pair of New Balance trainers on.
What's
a
wrong with
pair of,
him?
mate, he's on a telly, man. You know what I mean?
You're trying to get a sponsor of New Balance.
No, but I'm just saying, he's like, I just don't feel. I feel like they're on different levels. So I think boxing, like, that's what I was going to bring up there. Was, do you know, I think boxing's went a funny angle. It's like,
I think it's because MMA's took care, hasn't it? MMA's the prime fight now. That is the main one. I don't like MMA personally. I can't stand
But
it.
do you think
It
the glory-
depends. I actually really like MMA, but I still don't think it's taken over in a sense. It's like
It's every
you
time I
talk
watch
about
it,
you
man.
talk about like MMA, or just call it UFC. That's a bit big one. You talk about sort of like UFC's champions. Like there's a few big names like McGregor, maybe Anderson Silva, but it's like you could probably name them on your hands. But boxing's get loads. I know it's been a bit longer, but loads of sort of more distinguished champions.
I think boxers are in the light a lot longer.
Definitely.
Even they retire as well. I think just because I think there's I prefer MMA to any combat sport, but boxing's one of them ones where if you're sitting down and you're watching this fight, you're in it because it's two
a
guys.
fight.
That's what I mean. There's
It's
two
no
guys.
two guys wrestling,
Oh, here
and
we
one
go,
guy's
man.
dick's in another guy's face, and you're like, oh, look at that.
John's like,
That's a
"Where did I
big
sign up for
bloody
this?"
fucking left fucking armbar, and you're like, wait, how
Seen
you not
that,
fighting here?
seen that video and the guys in the crowd and it's all that way everybody heckles the fighters and that and the guys like grab his dick and twist it.
John's like, sign me up.
I just think boxing. I
It's a
remember.
fight, man.
Can you remember growing up? It was Channel 5. You always get boxing on Channel 5. It was always a big fight.
That was when Tyson Fury had hair, remember? It was all still back.
Even before that, I'm talking as a Wayne here, and you're talking about your Eubanks that are on the telly, and now you can't watch the boxing unless you're willing to pay 60, 70
it's
pounds
all
to
pay-per-view.
watch a YouTube star beat Tommy Fury because I think
beat
he's going.
Bambi's
Oh, yeah. What about Mayweather fighting Deji? What's that?
What's that?
Oh, the guy
Mayweather
who dropped the
fight
show?
is- No.
I've heard rumours about it.
So, see, have you ever heard the guy KSI?
Aye.
His wee brother, who's
Oh, right, aye.
nae prominence or whatever.
Aye.
I thought Mayweather was fighting that guy for Jordan
I
Shaw.
mean, we talk about, but we shouldn't even be mentioning that the same.
No.
Isn't he? I know it's a show,
It's just a
innit?
guy
Aye.
that used to be a boxing world champion. Now he's just more of like a
It's like a circus,
a
isn't he?
charade or something. Aye.
Aye.
It's not boxing. And I suppose because of who he is that you sort of link it to boxing. But it's even the same with this Tommy Fury and Jake Paul. It's like it's not championship boxing. It's a boxing match, but in the terms
It's an
of
exhibition,
prestige, it's not. It's for nothing, really, is it?
Aye.
Tell you, but see, obviously there's a big rise now in like kind of. I know, but you're just saying it's not real boxing, but YouTuber boxing. That Elbrook and that's been boxing. I don't know.
Who's Elbrook?
You don't know her?
Jordan, mate, I'm not. I've no idea.
Paul knows her.
Elaborate, El. Who's
Check
Elbrook?
his
Who's it? Who's this?
She's a porn star. Porn artist.
Well, that's actually scrapping.
Mate, a real box, she's got her hair braided now.
Does that mean you're a boxer because she braids her hair?
I'll get my hair braided now. Beef me. I
wouldn't want to pump you, but
well. So what's the deal with that?
it's just exhilarating, mate.
So you've got to pay for that then, aye?
No, I've got a guy who just 40 quid a year fire stick.
Is that when
Allegedly.
you watch her getting proper pounded in when she's getting battered in the head?
Aye, but like, there's just... Aye, what you saying, Sean?
No, but just see this carry on that we're saying there that we shouldn't be mentioning the same. Is this, how does a real boxer and an actual real combat athlete feel when all this is happening? Run about them, because I'm assuming these are getting funny money for putting a show on, whereas there's two warriors out there that are wanting to progress a career, wanting to be something, wanting to win titles, and their money's not even touching.
Aye, it's quite relevant that you mention that, because obviously they two are at the same weight as me, like heavyweight.
Who, Elbrook?
No, sorry, Tommy.
Tommy Fury?
I was thinking, Tommy Fury and Jake Paul.
Right.
They're both the same weight as me, and they're going to get paid a fortune for this fight. Jake Paul's not even had an actual boxing fight yet.
I know,
Tommy
why
Fury's,
is that?
I think Tommy Fury's 8-0, like I'm 7-0.
That's
like-
mental.
And for his 9th pro fight, he's going to make millions.
That's
Like,
crazy when you put it that way, innit?
when you think on it like that, it's just like, and I'm confident I'd smash both of them. I really am, but I'm not as popular as them. It's just the full part of their fight is just who they are. It's people want to see it
Let's
because of who
get
they are.
this
It's
going,
not
man.
about,
We
it's not
want
about
aim,
they've-
innit?
it's not like they've claimed rankings and they've met because of where they've got to in their careers. It's just he's a personality that's both famous, and that's why people want
Have
to
you
see
ever
it.
experienced that where you know you're better than somebody, but because they maybe bring a bigger crowd or get a personality as such, have you like noticed people kind of stepping over you and getting bigger
Aye,
shows?
oh, aye, 100%. Aye, I've definitely seen it. Definitely seen people that you definitely you would rate as good as yourself going to some big fights and do well, and you're happy for them. No, it's good. I don't resent them in any way. It's that you like to see it happening. It's good to see people getting on, but the Tommy Fury and Jake Paul one does just around me a wee bit, just because you think like I'd beat both of them.
I see if you watch your fights, watch his fights. I genuinely think you would or not. I want this to happen.
I'd be great with that.
You need to call him out. Call him out. Call him out.
I'll call him out on the podcast.
I'm telling you,
winner and loser fights me and I tie my shoelaces together.
That's absolutely madness the way you put that, because they will be pocketing that millions, and it knows with them, everybody involved with them, they're getting millions of it.
Who do you think's going to win, the Fury and
Jake Paul?
Do you think he's going to win?
I do.
Right, I think Tommy Fury's going to win.
Fury.
So the person who loses needs to wear a mankini next one.
Oh.
That's a good bet.
Oh, here.
That's a good bet.
On the podcast?
Shake on
the
it.
podcast.
Shake on it.
Oh.
No sitting in near the mankini, Paul, never let us back in again.
You don't need to wear your crotches, man.
No, I'll tell you what we'll do. I will put a mankini on, and I'll do something in public with a mankini if I lose.
I give me a, I'm not going to lose, but I give me a snippet.
Right then.
Right,
Do let us shake on it. Just tap my foot.
We're spitting. Oh.
We'll shake on it after it.
Okay.
I honestly think he'll win. I don't think it's down to. As you said, the pressure's there. And
Aye, it's definitely a close fight. I'm not confident that Fury win, but I would have to go with Fury. But I'm not confident.
Who's he going for?
I'm going
He's
for
going
Jake
for Paul and you're going for Fury.
Aye, right, okay. Aye, happy with that.
You happy with that, aye?
Just trying to get my balls out.
Who do you think's going to win that fight?
I think Fury, but I'm not, as I said earlier on, I'm not exactly. I don't see that with a lot of confidence, but I think he should win. But it's definitely a dangerous fight in the terms of because Jake Paul can bang a bit. He can, and he's putting all the work in. He's a great
training with the best in the game, isn't he?
And we know he can handle the pressure as well because he's fought in these big stadiums and against like that Tyrone Woodley and stuff. I know they're not boxers, but still. People like fighters, you know, Jake Paul's he's a YouTuber, so he's had these big nights, so I think he'll cope with it all right. But the big question marks whether Tommy Fury will cope with the pressure because he's the one that's got everything to lose.
Does it annoy you as a fighter when you know you've kind of came through school, you've came through amateur ranks, you've grafted to get where you're getting to? He's just come right off the tail. He's got all the money to pay all these tap trainers and promoters, and he just sauntered right into this magical career.
It's to some degree there's a wee bit, but there's also a bit of like you've got to respect his hustle. Like he's
this is where I'm with him,
baller, isn't he? Millionaire, like I can get paid. Somebody paid him. Was it the owner of that AU vodka paid him 250 grand to get a bottle tattooed on him?
I've done it for nothing.
There's a better
vodka.
You've got to respect it. You've got to respect it.
Yeah, there's a better vodka out there, by the way, Blood 69.
Aye, Blood 69 runs the show, man. But
good name in it, Blood.
I do think it's
He's my free goods, man.
I think it's going to go right that way. I think you're going to be wearing a mankini, mate. So I get to pick it.
Interesting to see what happens.
I'll need to put it for a boil wash.
You need to get in Port Vic for a boxing session with this mankini on.
I've not been back in since
I think we should get his in McGowan's Fitness. McGowan's Fitness with a mankini on. We're doing something.
You don't mind to start me boxing, so I've got a boxing, what do you call it? A punch bag? A boxing bag. I've got a punch bag in my room, and I'm getting to a stage now where I'm starting to make a sound.
It's not hitting your back? Is it not even hitting your back yet?
It's not even moving when I punch it, mate.
I know you mentioned earlier, Sean, about PTSD. And I was kind of, what did you like ask more about? Like, which kind of led you to sort of realising that you had that, and what kind of forced you to?
I didn't have an idea. I don't know all three years did. All three years have been diagnosed with.
All 3 years have been diagnosed.
I didn't think I didn't know. As I said, I was just angry all the time and I was wanting to fight with everybody. I didn't know why. I'm a nightmare at work, Stevie will tell you. But but I was made to feel as if it was all my fault. No, I mean I was just trying to get my point across, couldn't get there. And I just felt as if I was blown all the time on it. So it was actually you and my wife Erin that says you need to go and get looked at. I did, got diagnosed with it, and I probably just to this year just came to terms that I've got it and I've accepted it. And it kind of rekindled my love for boxing, MMA, and my discipline, because I feel as if that's the kind of road I was going down, and I think it's opened my eyes, mate, to different looks of mental health. I've realised how many people suffer from mental health. It's absolutely wild. And now you've got, I'm not going to mention names, but all I know who we're talking about in case he tries and sues or something. You've got somebody on there who was rock bottom, addicted to gambling, drinking, whatever. Started his own podcast. Next thing you know, he's getting guests on that nobody really agrees with. And now he's calling men like yourself, combat athletes, ex-soldiers like myself. He's calling us weak, saying that we're useless because all we do was moan or we're struggling with life and all that. Because somebody's at the top of their game. And it just, things like that, it's just made me realise that I was not well. I really was not well. But getting called weak and things like that, it doesn't sit with me. And just because somebody's at the top of their game now,
it's easy to look down on.
You're just like you were there at one point as well. So I think, I can't speak for Stevie and Jordan, but for me to accept it, I don't think I would ever accept. My wife, she's been brilliant through the whole process, but I would never have accepted that I had PTSD if it was never for Stevie.
Aye.
Do you feel like you kind of, when you're in the deep bit, it's as if you're thinking of, but obviously me personally, I feel as if I've kind of worked through it. I wouldn't class myself as having it anymore. I still have dark days or maybe a dark week here and there, but I feel as if maybe like I went through that journey doing it, and now I don't class myself as having it. I think I've had it. There could be certain triggers and whatever.
I think once you've got it, you'll never get rid of it. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be.
Somebody described it to me.
Somewhere.
If you can imagine like the tide coming in on a wall, and for your fear, like your kind of fight or flight response, you imagine the water going up a wall, and then when you come back to the UK, that mark and that was still there, and that's what your body's always going to be like, kind of.
I still don't think it's all down to going on tour and combat and stuff like that. I think it's the whole. Look, I can't blame the culture of the military for. I can't blame that for me drinking, but I used to. Before I went to B Company, I would, you know yourself, I'd finish work at 12:30 in the afternoon, and I'd be steaming drunk for 2:30. While everybody's still going down to muster and all that, I'm cutting about the camp, blazing, steaming, thinking it's hilarious. And I felt as if it was, you've got all this discipline forced on you, you're told to act this way, act that way. But where I grew up, it was like, I kind of just always wanted to rebel against shit. And that was my way in doing it, and go and get steaming that. And I think that's really where it kind of started for. I mean, with you know what it's like sometimes in camp at weekend, there's probably more riots and contacts in camp than what there is in a war zone. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy.
I remember the tour yous were on, seen that Knick-Knack coming back, and he was having an episode outside the block, and everybody could hear it. It was maybe 12 o'clock at night, and his words were, the Apaches are coming to get us or something like that. I don't know if he'd seen something. And you know, somebody, I'll not say any names, but the way somebody went and dealt with that is give him a 1-2. And that was, I like fucking smashed him because he was making a scene on that.
Me personally, I had a wee episode and I was in the block, and it was him that came out and got me. I was in my room and I was outside and I'm shouting, I'm like, fight with people. I'm like, fucking come on in. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. And in my head, there was a full team of cunts and I'm wanting to fight with him. And he's like, mate, there's nobody there. I'm like, look, there is.
That's why I laughed there. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I came literally down the bottom of the stairs and you're like at me, mate, do you think I'm mental? I'm like, what? And you're like, do you think I'm mental? Look at everybody standing there ready to go with me and you're not doing about it. I'm like, right, all right, in one then.
It's a mental block.
See, when you were there, did you feel like you were carrying like that sort of, maybe like some level of like fear at all times? Like, was it unease or
time of my life, man?
They just fucking get on with it when you come back.
Did you feel as if it was surreal? It wasn't. I remember going on my first patrol and like, you see it on the news and all that, and like being the point man and me behind him, and you're like, sure, this can't be real. I'm here, like fucking, I'm in a war zone, like fucking.
It's not Call of Duty anymore.
No,
it was normal when you were earlier. It was easier earlier.
Aye.
When you came back and you sat on your own and you had time to process things, and you're like, oh fucking hell.
See, that was my symptom. I wasn't so much angry. I was more sad, man. And I kept disappearing. Then they'd find us up at fucking a cemetery and that greeting at 2 o'clock in the morning, all that kind of stuff. So that was when I knew I had to fucking go and do stuff like that.
See, when you were obviously get your diagnosis, did you feel like you get improved or get worse?
I got worse to start with because I was raging. I mean, I've got people still to this day who I love in the army, honestly. I've got people who are genuine heroes to me that I look up to. And there's other people who, I don't know, it was as if they were jealous because you had, I felt as if people were saying things like, how do you get PTSD? I'm like, I don't want it, mate. Take it off us if you want. Then you've got people who still to this day that I've got nothing but respect or love to bits. And they just kind of accept that, aye, right, this is going to take time. I got so fucking angry with the fact that people didn't really give a fuck. I mean, I lost, it takes two people to stay in touch, I get it, but there's people who I felt as if didn't bother with anymore. I felt as if they thought I was putting a show on when I genuinely wasn't. I couldn't even go to work at times. I mean, I was about to kill myself in my car one day. If it wasn't for him, I would have. And my work didn't give a fuck, so I blamed everybody. I plummeted, and then once I hit ultimate rock bottom, which was very recent, I just thought, nah, I'm not doing this anymore, man. There's got to be help. My wife, she was the one that actually started the whole combat stress thing for me. She was the one that got the ball rolling with that. They've saved my life. A big, massive shout out to Rybo as well, who was always on the phone to us every day. Just usual stupid Rybo patter. I mean, you're at your lowest and he just gives you a tight. It's just, it's good, but it's banter, but he just gives you it stinking. And you're just like, right, cheers, mate. And it's good. But I got worse, mate. And now I feel like I'm not over the hill, but I'm at top, you know.
Aye.
And I don't think we're ever going to get better, but
I think you are growing because there are times where situations present themselves and your initial thing is, fuck, that's fucking, you're either storming away for it or you're about to confront it. But I think now you're kind of, you're teaching yourself and you're coming back, you're having your initial hangman and you're coming back and trying to make it right.
I think it's a lot to do with discipline and all, self-discipline, and it's the same with boxers. If you've got that self-discipline, there'll be times where you don't want to go training, but you go training. There'll be times where you doesn't want to face life, you face life. It's that kind of cycle with everything. It just gets you through the...
A funny way you're speaking about there is definitely true, and there's actually an element of that where it can be sort of detrimental as well, where because like from my experience, like when I've struggled with my mental health, I've kind of what it's been anxiety over like the last couple of years, and I always thought that. Same way you mentioned the word acceptance, you've kind of accepted that you've got this, like I couldn't really accept that that's the way I was feeling, that you know that I had to fight it. We were saying that there always had to be a fight, like I shouldn't be like this, I shouldn't be feeling like this, I need to do this, I need to go and run a half marathon, I need to do this, and that's the way I kind of done, that's the way I dealt with my anxiety for a long time, it's just became like a fitness freak. And in a way it's like you're running away from your anxiety, that kind of like try to fight it like that, but the way I've found recently is like just the acceptance and not resisting it, like just the way you feel is it's normal, like it's a human emotion that I'm not going to wrestle with this feeling that I get in my chest. Like that's for me, that's just like as if somebody's standing in my chest, and I wake up most mornings with it. I get it a lot of times. Even at the start of this podcast, I was getting it, kind of struggling to speak. Like it's just a thing I get, and the most important bit about that is it's the story you tell yourself about that. You tell yourself a story that this is what it is. I'm not going to fight it, even though it's hard. It's hard. It's easier said than done, because when you get hijacked with that intense emotion, your automatic thing to do is to start overthinking, like what's wrong, or why am I like this, or what can I do, like what can I do for relief. That's why I think I drank the way I did. Different things, you know, like jumping in cold water, or just wee ways to sort of get away from it. And the thing that's helped me the most now is to stop resisting it and just tell myself it's okay to feel this way. Like it's okay to feel like anxious, you know. I don't need to resist it. Like it is what it is. And I know that sounds a bit sort of simple, but you get
it's the biggest fight you're ever going to have is with yourself.
Oh, I definitely.
And once you can get out of that, that's when life becomes that bit easier. You can take a lot more on the chin and just move forward.
That's it.
Roll with the punches.
Accepting that you're going to get out of that.
You've got to accept it. That's it, definitely. And it's like thinking there's something wrong with you. It's like what I always did. Like I shouldn't feel this way. Like, you know, I'd be at work and you'd see people having like laughing and joking conversations and you're stuck in your own head, like not part of it.
Did you feel that that's because you were kind of like a boxer? You've got the elite mentality that I'm a boxer, I'm a winner. I'm going to win everything. That I shouldn't be feeling like this.
I think that sort of was detrimental to my sort of experience, like with making healing or recovering from like dealing with anxiety. I just thought that I shouldn't feel that way, and I sort of didn't like it about myself. Like there was resentment there, and I started to not like myself because I felt that way. Weakness.
That's what I felt.
Weakness.
Shit.
And you know, it'd be like times where you would be free of anxiety for a bit, and things would be going good, and you thought, I'm over this, because the anxiety and you hate uncertainty, and you love to put all your eggs in the one basket and go, right, this is the way it is. You love to make the uncertain certain, but overthinking.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're feeling good, you go, right, I've cracked this. I've got it cracked. Like, I've been, been running a lot. I've been meditating, this and that's it. It's gone now. It's not going to come back. And then something would happen that would come back, and you'd go, fucking, what a clown you are, like thinking you were over this, and you're down, like, and you start that whole, it's like you take jabs at yourself, over and over, and like, and it doesn't help. Again, it makes it worse. It amplifies it. It's like, I've heard it been referred to as like the struggle switch, that when you get this, the feeling like of anxiety, that the struggle switch goes off, and all you do is like you fight it and resent it, like you resist, and you amplify it all when it gets worse. So that was my automatic reaction, was to fight it, and it could have been due to like obviously just the mindset you have with boxing. It's not been to have got older, and I've read a lot of books and learned stuff about myself, and that I really went, I need to start showing myself more compassion, that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay, like I say that to myself, you know what I mean? And it's like almost like a self-soothing thing. Like when you get into like periods, I get very, like you're saying, like anger attack, I can get really bad fits at age where I can be out of control a wee bit. It's because I can't bring myself back down. If I have like a fallout with my wife, it's like she's getting more awareness than me, and she's much more balanced than me, and it's great, because it's like if she was like me, we wouldn't be together. So we can help each other in different ways. But if we fall out, after about 5-10 minutes, she's over it. That's it. I need to be alone for hours. Sometimes I can't go into this into the next day. I can go right. Let's talk about it.
Do you think that, see this like self-awareness now, that that it's all right to feel that certain way? Do you think having that mindset, you could take that and move forward and be a better boxer?
Definitely, 100%. Because recently,
professional.
It's like recently I would say that anxiety sort of restricted a lot of my life, like the quality of my life, worrying about things that over and over, and it sort of makes you withdraw from life. It really does, because the constant overthinking and fear of what could go wrong, and just not feeling good, like it can make you not want to sort of put yourself out there. It's like you don't want to take these risks, or you don't want to take on new challenges. You stop growing. That's really what it does. It restricts your life, and I've been aware of that. Like that's been like me recently. I've got a great idea about something new endeavour I want to do, and I'll think about it a lot, and then it gets to the point where I've thought about that much that I go, I've took a fun out of this now.
Definitely.
I do that with so many things, like, and it's sad. It's sad that a lot of people go about this, and it's through my own experience I've learned so much about like mental health and other people's experiences, what they're going through, and I have got genuine compassion for people that are suffering now, and I've suffered myself, and I think this is a great, like, the good thing about what we're doing tonight is we're talking about it. We're sitting here,
this is the whole purpose of the whole podcast.
People are listening, they hopefully can take something away from it. Like, I don't want to try and sit here and preach or tell people what to do, because everybody's journey is different. But there's things that I've done that have massively changed the game for me, that have helped. They've really helped me. That really helped me so much. Improved my life so much, and I know that I'm never going to go back. I don't like to be so complacent like that, but I'm not going back to that really low place I was at one point. I'm not going back there. Like, I've learned from that.
Think you where I was, like, kind of recognise like warning signs that
I do.
Triggers.
You feel it. Aye. You do feel it, and it's like I had an episode where I was kind of depressed for about. I'd say it lasted about 6 months. And I was really depressed. It was like, the way I describe it was like stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, but in my head I was lost. I didn't even know where I was, in a sense. I was gone. I started antidepressants, didn't work, they made me worse, and doubled the dose, and I got some relief, and through this whole, like, I was off work, and it was just horrible. It was kind of started that January, and it was like no January, February, it was this year, it rained every day, and I was in the house, and my wife was at work, and I'm sitting looking out the window, and it's pissing down, and I would go out running and do stuff, and nothing was like relieving it. I was stuck. And, it wasn't anxiety, it was more of like a downer, and it was as if I'd gave up with I was talking about, because what had happened, I had the realisation that I wasn't sleeping at night, and I was always feeling this anxious way, and like I had enough of it, because I'd never really thought about it or gave it much, like learned about it or that. So I just thought, I've got to put up this all the time, I can't sleep at night. I've had to get home from offshore because I've been awake for like 5 nights in a row. I'm all over the place, I'm uptight, and I just sort of gave up, and for that period I was depressed, and I sort of came back for that, and since then I've just been gradually sort of getting better,
when you're
learning.
done. When did you notice the change? When did you notice instead of feeling a bit depressed, you started going a bit more positive, and then a bit more, as days went on, you got that bit better?
It lasted for months, but the first relief I got was when I went to the doctors and they doubled my dose of antidepressants.
Was it sertraline? Was it?
No, it was citalopram. I was on them 20 milligram, and I said, look, this is not working, it's actually feel worse, and we'll double your dose. And then we doubled it, I did get a bit of relief. I did feel a bit better, and it's mad, you just had a wee bit of positive emotion, you feel it right away, because you've not had any of it. So as soon as you get a bit, you feel, oh god, that's it's like they feel good again. And it helped a bit, and so I moved on to that. But a year went on, I was on them for 2 years, that dose, and I just came off them because I started to go back again, and the old patterns went down and stuff like that, and I felt they weren't doing it anymore. So I came off them, which was a bit hard for a couple of weeks, obviously, when you're
is that the brain zaps and all that kind of stuff?
It was hard, but it was the best thing I ever done. Like I would rather be where I'm at now, because I felt for me that they sort of dulled out a lot of my life, just sort of put a dampener over everything, even though you couldn't be really, like, it was hard to cry on antidepressants. Hard to shoot your load on all.
As we get a list, citalopram, tramadol, and sertraline, don't take because you're not.
But no, when I feel much better now. I still have my bad days and my good days. I meditate a lot.
See, once you came off of them, you started coming off of the antidepressants. Was that light at a tunnel, like, almost instant? Could you see it?
No, it was worse. Like because the withdrawals from them, like for about 6 weeks, I was just a bit gone, and my anxiety was like through the roof.
Did you take any drastic action? Did you go and do any kind of?
I was having thoughts about doing it, but I never actually ever done it. And just fucking madness, absolute madness.
See, when you started taking the antidepressant, did you? Because I took them for 6 weeks or so, I felt as if it kind of pushed me more kind of closer to psychosis. The first couple of weeks, did you feel the same?
Aye. Aye, that's what happened to me. I said that, my wife was like, I could hear a lot of voice in my head, but it was my own voice.
Aye.
But I could hear it, and it was like, what the fuck's that? And it was scary. Aye. It only lasted for maybe like a week, and then it happened again. But I was like, what's going on here? And I felt I felt completely detached from like reality. Aye. Over time, it went away, and I really hammered my AA meetings. So I go to AA. I've not been in a while, but I used to go to AA, and it really was like a rock at that time for me to hold on to get me through it. And since then, I've just getting much better. I mean, I've honestly, like, it's night and day. Like, I end up obviously like boxing again, fighting again, having a family, getting married. Like, my life's great. My life is absolutely brilliant. There, so many positives, and I'm present. I'm here for it all as well. Like, there's times where obviously I'm not, but I do quickly bring myself back into being present. And, it's like just enjoying the simple things in life.
See, when you're talking about it, you're saying your family, your boxing, all that, you've got a smile on your face. You can see it, can't you? You can see it. Talking about depression to this, it's like completely different, man.
It definitely is. It's like a glow that comes off you, and I love it. My life is great, and you say, like, when you see me talking about my depression, I try not to speak about it too much, because it's part of it. It's the past, and it was valuable because it's where I'm at now. I wouldn't be if it wasn't for that. And that's the way I view it. As I said to you, I try not to regret anything. So I look at these things as part of like my evolvement in becoming a better person. I'm very aware now of how I show up in relationships, like with my wife, my family, my pals. My main focus in life right now is just to be a good person that people like speaking to, that I can help, that I'm a good listener, that I'm a good dad.
A role model.
Aye, that trumps everything. Even but boxing makes you sort of very self-absorbed and everything's like not everything, but a lot of it is ego-driven and in the recent years I've been much less concerned with satisfying my ego. I'm more concerned with just being more at peace and at ease and spending time with my family
it's good.
and just enjoying life, and it's I don't need to have conditions on top of me that I need to do this to be happy anymore. It's just not a thing. It really isn't. It's
Is there I think you were trying to touch on it. Is there any kind of other tools? Obviously you're at this stage now where you're a lot more kind of grounded and whatever. Is there any other tools you've used on a kind of run up to get into this place?
I've tried a lot of things. Like obviously exercise has always been a great help to me. Like see, if you get up first thing in the morning, go a run, you sort of burn up a lot of energy, so you feel much less anxious after that. So the exercise did help, but it's not it'll get you over it, because even though I was like exercising all the time, it was still coming back. Like, it was still there, and I felt like the exercise wasn't doing that much anymore. So then you move on to the next thing, and I tried ayahuasca. I went and done that.
What's that?
It's you've had a DMT? No, it used to basically be like a brew they made in the Amazonian rainforest, mixing to, it was like a vine and a leaf, and I think it's like ayahuasca vine and something leaves.
Just like a green tea.
You need to have the both of them mixed together, because one contains DMT and the other one contains I forget the name, how you say it, but it means that the other one allows your body to process it, digest it. So you actually get the effects. It's like a psychedelic brew. It's like the most powerful thing you could ever take, really. I went to a retreat, like a ceremony, and done that. It was like a proper shaman to do a ceremony and stuff, and I'd looked into it for a lot. I'd seen like documentaries on YouTube, and I thought I'm going to give it a try. My main intention in it was, how do I stop my anxiety, or what I call it, my alarm, is that sensation, feeling in the body. Like can I get to a place where this isn't here anymore, or I can stop letting it control my life and restricting my life so much. And that was my main intention. And so I went and done that, the ayahuasca, and it was the scariest thing I've done. I was so scared to do it, because you totally sort of lose you sort of lose your mind, really. Like, you can't grasp it and it's happening, because it's too big for the mind to sort of get a hold of. It's such intense visuals, and during my experience that I went from like feelings of like extreme fear and to like feelings of strong love, and it was up and down, and it's hard for me to sort of put into words, but it all kind of happened. But I had strong visuals as well. But the part that I took the most from the ayahuasca was during the most intense stages, when I was going up and down through the emotions. I kept resisting like what was going on. Like I was scared, but I kept like sort of resisting, like trying to make sense of what was happening. Kept resisting. I would say to myself, like, surrender, let go, just stop resisting this, let it be. And I would do that, but then it would come back again. And it was like basically like, you can't resist it. It's irresistible. Once you take enough of it, it's irresistible. So you just got to go with it. And what I took away from it was like, it's a bit like life, that whole experience. Like all unhappiness comes from resistance, like resisting a situation or an event that's happened. But that's what I took away, was I'm constantly resisting this feeling I get, this anxiety. I wake up with, or whenever it just comes on any time during the day. That can't even be an event or thoughts, just it's there, like that feeling. I've resisted that for a long time. Is that a massive
feeling for you before a fight, or is it a different kind of focus?
It's different. It's yes, it's the kind of power of the mind as well. It's like when, as I said earlier in the story you tell yourself about it, you feel a wee bit like that before a fight, but it's not as like sore or that. It's not like that kind of dull like, pressure on you. It's a excitement, but it's still anxiety, but excitable anxiety.
As if you know why you feel like that, because
you know why, because you're into a fight and it's not normal and you're up for it and that's it. But when you get the feeling I'm talking about, it's more like somebody's like a pressure in your chest. Like, when you get bad news, it's like that. What about that quite a lot? And it's, I've just made peace with it. I get that feeling. That's the way it is. It's not as particularly pleasant, but I don't need to make it worse by criticising myself and resisting it. And that's what ayahuasca was good for. It really showed me that I like, that's where the real problem is resisting it rather than just accepting it. And I get it. When you sort of accept that it's there, sometimes it actually dissolves. It just goes away. Like you've accepted it's there. Before you know it, it can dissolve. Other times it doesn't. Other times it just stays there and you just sort of go on about your day, and that's
I
fine.
heard you say about meditation and all. Is that with the ayahuasca you got you into meditation, or is it?
I was doing that before that and I fell away from it. But after the ayahuasca, I get right back into it, and I've been doing it since. Every morning when I wake up, I sit on the edge of my bed and I meditate for 10, 15 minutes, usually 10.
Aye.
Sometimes if I can get a lost time, it's 15. I do that every morning. It's just really good for, we're talking about awareness earlier on, for like keeping you like conscious awareness. Like if something happens, it's how you respond to it. There's like a wee gap, there's like a space between, like, say, stimulus and response. It's actually from a line from a Viktor Frankl book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's like in the Auschwitz, during the Holocaust. And that's what he says, like, that's where your power comes from, is the gap between stimulus and response, like how you respond to it. That's the last thing you've got in life. Like, we need everything stripped away from them, but they could choose was how they responded to the situation. And that meditation is good for that, because it trains the mind to sort of be able to stop thinking, to be more and like feel your body more and be more focused
in control.
And when you go about your day, things can happen and you can feel it, the feeling to just sort of jump in and go, something annoys you, what you're saying, or that be element in the space, you go, if I do that, I'm going to make myself feel not good, but I'm going to get angry. I don't like feeling angry, so I'll deal with it a better way. And it massively improves your quality of life when you've got that about you, that conscious awareness. Obviously at times it totally lapses and you go unconscious and you do something stupid and then it's not after you go, oh God, but you just keep working at it, and that's why I do it anyway.
See the like, power of mind. I watched on the other day, and it was an experiment, and they'd put a rat in a bucket of water, and after 8-10 minutes the rat starts to struggle and he lifts it out and he lets it recover and that kind of stuff, and then he puts it back in, and I think the rat fucking lasts 24 hours or something like that. And see, just because that belief, because it's been lifted out, it thinks I'll just keep going a wee bit further and it'll get lifted out. And it's scary.
That's crazy.
It was with fleas. They put a bunch of fleas in a bucket and they covered the bucket, and the fleas can easily jump out this bucket, and they covered it, and they were jumping and hitting the roof, and they left the roof on for a couple of days. They took it off and they would never jump higher because they knew it was impossible, even though there was no. So that's basically like, that's your life. If you are stuck at that point when you can only jump so high, then you need to realise that you can push yourself that wee bit further. There's always that wee bit extra you can give to get you higher than what you believe is achievable. And it's pretty powerful, man.
It's the power of belief, as we were speaking about earlier on. It really is. Like, if you truly believe in your heart and soul, there's nothing that can stop. Not everything, but a lot of things that won't stop you. Like the placebo effect. And people believe they're getting treatment to make them better, even though they're not. They actually get better because the brain believes.
Me a belt about the placebo effect.
It's amazing.
How about the
I saying I had nothing to do with this one.
I was pushed. Right. I was out in the pub, Richmond, and we were all together. One of a guy, I'm not even going to name him, I can't stand this guy, right? Buys everybody a shot. Buys everybody a shot of vodka, wasn't it?
Vodka, mate, aye.
This cunt knew. He knew that I hate this guy. And he bought me a shot, and it was water.
Not just one. There were 5.
Water, right? He knew. He stood there and watched me do it, right? Got the shot, done it, mate.
He put his finger in the vodka. He put his finger in the vodka and kind of run the shot glass. That was it. And he smashed the shots of water fire, and he's like, "Oh, that's fucking disgusting."
Aye, placebo.
Anyway,
I pushed it anyway,
man. But aye, it was. I don't know. I was just. I was a bypass.
Let it happen. That's your pal. That's your
He's
pal.
an
Right there. Let it happen.
That was a good. No, mate. That was a good night. That. No, I believe that as well. I believe if you tell yourself whether it's positive or negative, if you tell yourself enough times, you start believing it.
Definitely.
I've seen myself tell myself how shite everything is, and then I just start accepting it. And then I've seen the other side now where I'm like, no, well, there's a positive in every single thing you do. Every day's got a small positive, whether it's just one daft wee thing in a day. If you take that out of the day, then you've had a good day, ain't you?
That's it. It's kind of like what you sort of, the more you focus on a positive thing too, the more positive things you see.
I believe in that.
It's like kind of law of attraction in it. See, you're speaking earlier on, Sean, about your kind of experience, your PTSD and stuff, and you mentioned your wife really helped you. Like, it's great that you've got people like in your life. I'm the same. Like, I've got an absolutely brilliant wife. Like, I absolutely love her to bits. And she's been like great for me for where I'm at. You know, from just helping me so much and always being there for me. You know, in times when it was hard. And I can tell you were speaking that you've obviously kind of.
It's nice to hear that
similar
as well, mate,
experience.
because I think
But we need these people in our life.
exactly, mate, and I think a lot of partners do a lot of. You look at you, man.
I'm sat here single.
Sat here
as fuck.
single.
I think a lot of partners do a lot of stuff for. Well, say we've all been there. They do a lot for us,
Brilliant with me and all, man.
and we
She's
just think
amazing.
until you're at that lowest point, you don't realise the work that other people are putting in about you. And there's a thing I've got now that I've recently just came to light to. It's how big your circle is when you're done. When people want you done, your circle's massive. See, when you're on the rise and you started noticing that the people that care about you and the people you want around about you, how small your circle gets. Now that can be for a life to maybe 3 or 4 pals, 5 or 6. I mean, you're talking going for 30 people who you would class as your best pals when really were just your drinking buddies, to people who actually genuinely would dig you out a hole, or they would stay there with you till you got out. And that's kind of hitting on the whole where Erin was for me. Without Erin, without Fishy and Jordan as well, I mean, you're very hard on yourself, man. You're a very positive person to be around, even when you're not being so nice to yourself, because I think you're very hard on yourself, and you've dug me out a hole mentally. You know what I mean? And it goes without saying where Stevie's been for us. But leaving the army, I fucking thought I was coming out to millions of pals high-fiving, and you hadn't, it wasn't, mate. It just wasn't. Nobody, everybody's problems are always worse than yours. And that's the way you felt. You thought, I better not bother until it gets too much. And then you realise, I've actually got really good people around about me who actually genuinely care. And it's listening to people, innit? It's taking on. I feel as if people were giving me advice, and I'm like, who does this person think they're talking to?
Do you know what I found? I found, see the people that is in that, like yourself, your wife, my partner. I took everything out on them. See the close people, took it all out on them. They got it really bad after me. And if it wasn't for them being able to say, "No, we know Stephen for the good side," or we know Grant, or we know the good side, and we're willing to put up with this to get that good side back. If it wasn't for them, then me personally, I would not fucking be here.
So I've had people. I mean, you're talking a couple of years ago, and they're saying, he's selfish, he's this, and he's that. And I'm like, I'm not, man, I'd do anything for you. No, in my head, I'm like, I would do anything for you. But I don't know what's wrong with me right now. And I can't. Like, that's what I couldn't get through to some people. It was like, so I'm ill here, and I don't know what's wrong with me. And I don't mean to be this way. And only certain people got it. At this time, and then this is when they start telling you you've got diagnosed with PTSD and you've got depression and anxiety and tappy, and I'm like, nah, you're lying.
It's knowing how to deal with it.
Aye.
Me and him work together. We've still worked together. We've worked together for a while now. And there's mornings he comes in and he's just angry. And I go, right, leave him. I'll phone him later.
A couple of times, haven't we?
Oh, aye. We've spoke. What's up with him? But I just fucking, I've left him. Well, there's other mornings I've went, no, it's not enough. Get up the road. You need to get home. And it's knowing when to decide, right, this is a morning where he needs left alone, or this is a morning where he needs reassured or something. And it's the same as all aspects of life. It's like, it would be the same with yourself, it would be the same with you. Like, if you're going to the gym and you don't want to, your wife will go, stay in, you can do it tomorrow. Or she'll be like, shut up, get your arse out, go and do what you've got to do, you'll come back better. They know before we do.
What you need.
And it's fucking, it's refreshing. And it's a different side of love, really. Because they love you that much that they're able to say, no, I know you better than you know yourself. I've seen this, I've dealt with it, and it's fucking happening. Now, if you need a cuddle, you're getting it. If you need a kick in the arse, you're getting it. And
is that what it's like on the other side? I'm about to get a good pose on so I can get a good Tinder picture for it. I'm sick of it.
I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. Your input's been brilliant.
I've got a question, right? I've got a question for you. So, anybody in the world, who do you want to fight?
Please say Jordan.
Who would be your ideal fight?
Like me, like punch and smoke, man.
It's a hard question, that.
That is, isn't it?
Ideal fight. Myself.
Don't
Go on,
get
Eddie, So,
I think it's
another-
me just
another one for you
myself
then.
right in front of myself.
Growing up, who was your heroes? Who was your idol?
I loved Roberto Duran and Mike Tyson. They were my two favourites. There was loads. I loved a lot of boxers. Used to watch like, highlight videos on YouTube and was pure inspired to watch them. But Duran and Tyson were my two favourites.
Aye.
Can I just ask, do you still speak to Josh, or did you speak to him, or did you ever spoke to him?
He was at my last fight. I was
Aye.
speaking to him. It was good. He was there.
I think maybe not you want to talk about it. What about his last fight?
His last fight. It was controversial to say that.
Yeah, that's all
I
we'll
feel
say.
sorry for him, man.
I feel like it was. It's not.
It's a heavy ordeal.
It's not warranted. What's happening. Where we look at it, if you know, like I thought looking at the fight, I thought he lost.
Mhm.
I don't think it was a robbery.
No, they made it war, man.
no.
It was enjoyable to see.
And
as
the
well.
other ways do that too. It's like the last couple of rounds, that guy done nothing. It's
Aye,
like a championship fight.
Of course, man.
So it wasn't a robbery. And I just typical English commentators. I know it's like it's.
I bet you still
scandalous.
managed to get
See the way
fucking
the way they
1966
act.
in there in a boxing match.
Aye, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Aye, it was nowhere. It didn't deserve all that controversy. It
Yeah.
didn't.
He's a good boy, Josh, as well, aye.
Aye, brand new. Aye, I'd say he's the best Scottish fighter that's ever. Best Scottish boxer that's ever lived.
Oh, he's exciting, wasn't he, man?
Aye,
Brilliant,
he's good,
man.
really
Absolutely,
so good, aye.
absolutely brilliant. The way won undisputed. And just
The one that I don't get, see if he was American, he would be known on the fucking moon. He'd be known
Aye,
everywhere.
Aye.
Undisputed
But
champion.
he's
aye.
he's not American, he's
Aye.
fucking Preston Pans.
I know.
And because of that, he's just
Aye.
he's not a global name.
Aye. I think because he just tries to be who he is. I think he puts on a facade or puts on an image like, you know, a big sort of showbiz personality. He is who he is. And
He's
a great
grounded,
fighter.
isn't he? It's good to see somebody who
Aye.
has reached the absolute pinnacle of his career. On his career, he's everything, his whole world. And he's so humble. It's good to see.
Aye.
But again, it's shit because if he was American, he'd be
He should get more,
Aye,
more,
fuck on the screen.
more recognition. Aye.
Aye.
Even if he was English as well.
he'd be like Money
Aye.
Mayweather.
Even if I'm being honest,
Aye,
you
it's
know.
just-
Aye,
true.
aye, true. Aye.
But before we stick a nail on this fish, Jordan's got something he wants to let out.
I don't even know.
Because it's coming, I'll do it for you then, because it's coming up with
Aye,
Mother's Day.
Paul, can you put the camera on me first?
it's coming up with Mother's Day.
Look, he's got
So-
a look in there, look.
So Jordan would like all these single mums out there to let. Would you like a wee message out there? For
I
them,
just
or-
wanted to say, if any of these are kind of feeling lonely, if your kids are like your the dads or whatever, by the time this is out, it'll only be 2 weeks away, so just message your Facebook page. Because I'm still waiting in the groupies. Well, that's why I'm not doing well. And I'm still sat here on a fucking dry up, so...
Well, that is a nail in the fish. Grant, Tank, Quigley, it's been fantastic. this
Pleasure.
man.
Pleasure,
Aye,
mate.
thanks for having us,
Absolute
lads.
pleasure.
Aye, no,
A
I've enjoyed
gentleman.
it. A good
Massive
good
shout
talk,
out
mate.
to Midas
Midas
Touch doing their work again. Again, it's a veteran owned company. Magical. So
And
aye,
Plus 69 vodka.
Plus 60.
The best vodka ever.
you getting on alcoholic there, isn't it yet? Up
We're
to you.
working- we're working
Over
on
to
it.
you, Woody.
Aye, we're working on it.
Aye, no, it's
Plus
been brilliant,
68.
big man.
Aye. Thanks, lads.
Your input's been superb, so we'll leave it with you, Tips. Much love and see you again.
See you next time.